Atma Namaste. Let us start with the prayers to the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, Guru Master Chokoksui, Maha Guruji Mailing. You may invoke to your own spiritual teacher. All the great ones, holy gurus, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helper, all divine helpers, invisible helpers, Buddha Kwanin, Buddha Shakyamuni, all bodhisattvas, all beings of light, our divine self and higher soul. We humbly invoke for your divine blessings, divine light, divine love, and divine power, for divine peace, illumination, divine grace, divine guidance, divine mercy, divine forgiveness, for divine support, divine help, divine healing, for abundance, prosperity, material prosperity, and financial prosperity, for growth, success, progress. Thank you for giving us divine protection, God. All these blessings, all on all levels, through time and space. Thank you for protecting us, our loved ones. Just visualize who all you want to be divinely protected. And all our belongings, possessions, dreams, desires, our greatness, manifestations, and life purpose. Thank you, God, for your miraculous blessings, miraculous healings, and miraculous protection. Thank you in full faith. So be it, so be it, so it is. Om, Amen, Amin, Tathastu, Tathastu, Tathastu. So, Atma Namaste, all of you. Before we, let's first chant the Om. So just close your eyes and remind yourself that you are the soul, you are the speck of God. I am that I am. I am a being of pure energy and light. I am in complete control over my body, my emotions, and my thoughts. So be it. I am that I am. I am super receptive, super conductive, and super grateful. You know, these two prayers are actually empowering you. Your own soul empowers you with all its powers when we do this, the soul affirmation and the Sharanagati. Om. Om. Aum. Om. Aum. Om. Atma Namaste. Welcome to our morning session, morning sadhana. Before we start today's session and move forward, yesterday we had done relationship healing. I will continue with that where we left yesterday. We left at forgiveness prayer. So I will continue from there. Before we start, I would like you to at least share something what you took back from yesterday's session. You know, whatever your realizations have been, whatever you have realized, or whatever, you know, if you have felt healed inside, just a little sharing with everyone. You know, it encourages. I share so many experiences of my life. This is just to inspire everybody. So when you share, you are actually giving, you know, it's again as per the law of karma, you're giving something, you're giving something to inspire other people. So automatically it becomes like a support to others. So the good karma that you generate with that is that God gives you a lot of support when you need, because even sharing your experiences needs courage, needs a lot of love, affection for all. That is why. So I think it's a good idea when we are continuing with it to just share your experience, your realizations, or maybe if you have felt healed or, whatever. So maybe one by one, please, just unmute yourself, play your, unmute yourself and then just share. Whoever, don't wait for somebody else, just start. Yes.
Atma Namaste.
Atma Namaste, Atul. Yes, please.
Yeah. So, a big takeaway from yesterday's session on forgiveness
Mm-hmm.
was that, although you mentioned this earlier as well, that,
Mm-hmm.
about the soul contract and how we decide on who we meet in our life journey, and we also decide the experiences that we will take, good and bad, which will help us into evolving. So
Mm-hmm.
looking at it from that perspective, you know I think that uh, whatever circumstances come, if we look at it from that angle and look at the other person's behavior from that perspective, that this is part of uh, an already entered into agreement, and this is actually
Mm-hmm.
for your betterment. So it
Mm-hmm.
helps in forgiving. It helps in seeing the other person's perspective in a better
Exactly.
manner. And
Exactly.
I was from that learning, I was able to counsel somebody I know who's
Wow.
going through a difficult phase in their
Okay.
marriage. So I was
Oh,
able to, although, it's very difficult for somebody who's in a difficult relationship, but then
situation. Yeah.
there was some amount of solace that I was able to offer them, who
Fantastic.
look at things from that perspective and try to, forgive the other person from
Fantastic.
that, coming from that angle, and try
Excellent.
to work towards a better relationship considering this. So
Fantastic. You deserve a clap. You deserve a clap. Absolutely wonderful. In this regard, just one thing I will mention, Atul, when I used to do, I had my counseling clinic and I used to regularly do counseling. So when I used to do trauma counseling, child counseling, marriage, pre-marriage, all these counselings I used to do. So in marriage counseling, I remember one case, what I did, very difficult because both the husband and the wife had come with lot of problems and allegations against each other. So that time we used to have the tape recorders with the cassettes. So when the allegations the husband was bringing about, I just quietly taped it. Same I did with the woman. Okay. And then later on, I played the opposite to each other. The woman's I played it to the husband, the husband's I played it to the wife. And then they realized, oh my god, this is how he feels, but I did not mean to do this was not my intention. So instantly they realized what mistakes they were doing and how it is affecting the other person negatively. And then the whole perspective changed. They started looking at each other in a much more compassionate way, and then the forgiveness between each other was much more easier. So it's a great job that you have done. Congratulations to you. Wonderful. And all the more, I will tell you, you are empowered with spiritual energy. You are empowered with divine energy. That is why, all the more, we as small little divine servants, we can actually heal people in our own ways. Not necessary that you have to be a doctor, have a qualification, or have to be a healer and have a qualification. In our own ways, we can bring about change in other people's lives. And when we do that, the amount of peace, solace, contentment, joy that you experience, it is unparalleled to even owning millions of dollars. So
yes.
fantastic, fantastic. Congratulations. Great. So yes, next, who would like to share? Please volunteer and just come forward, whatever you have taken back from the session, whatever you feel about the session. Yeah, Dr. Paridhi was not there. Sorry. Who was there yesterday? Ankita, why don't you share?
Yeah. Hi. Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
hi.
Atma Namaste to all.
Atma Namaste.
Yeah. I guess I mentioned also, I messaged also
Yeah,
Mandrita.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Let
It
others
helped.
also hear.
Yeah.
Mm.
It helped me to connect my past dots.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah. So, like, I would not say the perspective will change ekdam se, but
Hmm,
it helped me to understand why it was happening and, how I
hmm.
should take it in a positive way instead of criticizing and begrudging the situation that I was in.
Correct, correct.
So that
Excellent.
helped me to get the courage to, appreciate. I told you, like in the morning also, I
Yeah,
was reading about how to embrace negative people and even negative
y-
thoughts in a
yeah,
positive way. And the same
right.
thing you helped me to manifest beautifully that, all these negative things and emotions and people actually are there to cut your karmic karmas from the past. And
Hmm,
it's how you
absolutely.
deal with them and how, you actually look at them in a positive way or maybe do not react negatively could only cut your negative karmas for the upcoming life and for the past life.
Correct,
So that
correct.
was an eye opener. I guess a lot of people, most of the people don't understand and see this. We
Hmm,
believe in,
hmm.
we believe in becoming the victims.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So that was,
Wonderful.
that was,
Fantastic. Good takeaway,
yeah.
Ankita. Thank you very
And
much.
yeah, and as
Please.
Atul mentioned that he tried to, encourage someone. I am
Hmm.
also thinking, to get on the same lines, but I just want to
Wonderful.
learn more and become more better so that I can be someone,
Of course, of course, of course. The very, very good intention. I, wish that you carry forward this and don't wait to become better. You're already good. So start, and then you will see things will fall in place.
uh,
And in this regard, one more thing, let me mention what Atul said is, looking at the perspective of the other person. I'll tell you, as I was sharing yesterday, that I have actually experienced a very traumatic, to be very honest, a very cruel kind of childhood. Though, okay, I was getting food, shelter, I was getting good education, but I did not have at all any emotional or mental peace, and also physical, because I used to get, I mean, cruel beatings. I used to be emotionally, actually, as a child, I used to feel tortured, and it has been so traumatic for me that it actually left back scars of my past and of my childhood. But as I grew up and I was carrying that baggage for so many years, and it was so heavy baggage, such heavy baggage. I mean, my friends used to tell me that your life is not a movie, your life is a TV serial, that there are so many episodes in your life. But when I actually realized about forgiveness, when I realized about relationship healing, what I realized was the other soul, since we have a soul contract, that this soul is going to hurt and harm me, so that my negative karmas are all neutralized. So I have actually requested this soul to hurt me and harm me. So even if that soul is tremendously being cruel, still it is that soul is doing because I have requested that soul. Number one. Number two, that soul is helping me. In the process of helping me, so much that soul loves me, that in the process of helping me, that soul is creating so much of negative karma for itself. That person is generating so much of huge, heavy, negative karmas for himself or herself. So in the future, he will actually, it will come back to him or her many, many times. So, when I realized this, and earlier, actually unconsciously, I used to hate my mother for being so cruel all my life. But, when I realized it, I started feeling pity for her. That my goodness, by releasing me of my all my past karmas, she has generated such huge, heavy karma that she will be penalized for this so many times in her future lifetimes, or maybe in this lifetime. What a beautiful soul that it is. That soul loves me so much on the soul level, that on the earthly, on the human kingdom, it is helping me so hard and generating all problems for itself. because the seeds that soul is sowing, it will reap those punishments also for itself. So when you look at it in that way, you will actually feel love and compassion for that soul, that it is releasing you, but it is actually chaining itself with the lords of karma. Because the lords of karma, it's going to punish that soul so many times, manifold, for doing what it has done to us. So when you realize that, then it is, I mean, it's absolutely fine. I will share something, maybe because, this session brought about some, I don't know what, but today morning I realized something and I've taken an action. What Master has taught is that forgiveness is necessary for you to get healed. More than the other, your soul gets healed, because as long as you're carrying that pain, that suffering, that trauma, that shock, humiliation, or maybe that grudge towards or resentment towards those people, your soul is suffering, your life is suffering. So when you can come out of it, forgive, forgive, forgive. In one day, it will not go. You have to keep on forgiving, forgiving, forgiving. And then after a time, you will feel calm and healed and rejuvenated. So when you do this, what is happening, what Master said is, do the inner forgiveness. Meaning, yesterday what I taught you, soul to soul level, you forgive, so that between the two souls nothing negative remains, no negative energies, no negative cords, no cords of hatred, no cords of jealousy, anger, resentment exists. Because if that exists, then these two souls are chained with each other, and these two souls will keep on teaching lessons to each other life after life. So when you're unchaining yourself, then that soul loses its power to influence you any further. Number one. Then that soul cannot do any harm to you anymore. Right? Then that soul, your life will not be affected at all by that soul, no matter what it does. Because you have forgiven, because you have unchained yourself. Right? But this is inner forgiveness, soul to soul. But in the outside world or in the physical world, if you need to see that soul does not harm anybody else, or does not do any kind of mischief with anybody else, you need to take action. For example, if somebody has cheated you, okay, fine, that person has cheated you, soul to soul you have forgiven, but you have to put that person in the police's hand. If somebody has, you have to take action. If a thief comes and says, okay, give me the keys of your cupboard and I want to take your money and all, oh, because I'm spiritual, I will give away the keys. No, you have to stand for yourself, you have to stand for your family, you have to stand for your children, you have to stand for your spouse. You have to be strong and firm there. Spiritually does not mean that you will be mishy mishy, whatever the people say, you will become a doormat that people will trample over you. No, you have to stand for your own rights. But yes, you will not do anything wrong. You will not hurt, harm, injure anybody. You will not steal. You will not be dishonest. You will not, kind of do anything wrong towards others. That is what spirituality is. That is what divinity is. You being pure. I will not do anything what others are doing. Let everybody do whatever they are doing. They are creating karmas for themselves. But I will not do that, because I don't want to carry negative karmas in my life. I don't want to plant negative seeds. So I'm not going to do anything which will harm, hurt, injure anybody else on any level: physical, mental, emotional, verbal, financial, in relationships, anywhere. Right? So today I don't know why I just it came during early morning's divine guidance. It just came and I did this thing. I um, our company used to what happened was, our company had, rather I would say my previous company, it had given us an apartment in the city when we came back from Dehradun to live here, and in that particular apartment, and then carry on, finish off the studies of my children. So we came and we settled down over there in that apartment. And the moment I came, within 2-3 days, I was diagnosed COVID. This was way back in November last year. And then I was totally isolated, and I had a severe attack, almost, because I had a pulmonary fibrosis also with that. And suddenly, from the company, the administration calls and says that you have to leave. You just have to leave from this house. So I said, how can I leave? First of all, I'm sick. Second of all, we have got all our stuff from our hometown, hometown, and we are just settled. Children are going to go to college and school from here. They have taken admission here. No, no, no. We don't want to hear anything. You have to leave. And it was so ruthless. Actually, I'm saying it was so ruthless, and it was so severe and cruel. I was totally engulfed in, I can't share. Even when my husband died, when I met death twice, I did not feel so insecure the way I felt insecure during this incident, because had I been alone, I would not care. I would walk out immediately. But my children were there. I was feeling like a refugee with all my stuff, household. Do I go onto the streets? Where do I go? What do I do now? And the way they were ruthlessly behind, sending people so that we leave the house, just like throwing us out. That is the time when I decided that the worst of insecurities that I'm going through, I will create so much of security, of shelter for my children, that they never have to, nobody can throw us out again. Just because they had given, they were able to take it away. And I said, now I will not depend on anybody to give us, so that we do not, nobody can tell us get out. Now, our boss was the director of the company. And, he has been very, very kind from the very beginning, from the time we had joined, both me and my husband. But the director, the chairman, everybody has been very kind. And always because I had so much of respect, so much of honor, so much of gratitude, that I always used to be on the level of shoes, as if when you wear your shoes, on that level, with humility, with gratitude. Always I was, never would I even speak a word. And this was, of course, not done by them. This was done by the administration. Today, I don't know, I got divine guidance, and I actually wrote back to the director that this is what has been done with us. It is, of course, he knows it. It's not that they don't know. And I said that I'm not scared to speak out the truth, that so much of injustice was done, so much of unfair, thing was done. Um, it is all about what karmas we create. So maybe my negative karmas of some lifetime or many, many lifetimes got neutralized by going through that severe insecurity and trauma and shock and humiliation. But what I have forgiven them since then, every day I've been doing forgiveness with the people concerned, with the company, with the owners, with everybody. Though everybody is not, maybe a team to this, whatever. But I realized that yes, I need to speak up. I need to also stand for my children. This would not, I would not say had it been me alone, but my children has suffered. So I need to at least protect my children by voicing out that maybe you are the director of the company, maybe you are the owner of the company, maybe you are the company, whoever. But what you have done is not fair. This is not just. Otherwise, you would not have given, you would not have allotted at all. In the very beginning, you would not have given. I would have arranged my whatever. If I would have been able to arrange, I would have stayed. If I would not, then we would have arranged something else. So my point is that, and I'm feeling actually very, today I'm feeling very, what should I say? I'm feeling closer to God. Why I'm feeling closer to God is because I was carrying a lot of guilt all these months. Since November, I was carrying this guilt that I have allowed my children to go through this insecurity, this trauma, and I have not been able to do anything about it when people have come and just, done so much of damage in our life, mental damage, emotional damage, financial damage. So many damages have happened, physical damage. And that time I was also going through, in fact, of course, I also went through a lot of ill health at that point of time. But my point is that forgiveness should be done internally. Externally, if you need to stand for yourself, if you need to voice out, do not be engulfed with fear, because be scared of only God. If you have a very good, healthy, karmic balance, karmic bank has good karmas, you need not fear anybody. If you have good balance in your karmic account, that will suffice to take you through, sail through smoothly in your life. No matter how many challenges come, no matter how many problems come, you will be able to sail through with your dignity, with your self esteem intact. Otherwise, people crush down your self esteem. They make you feel small, they make you feel discouraged, they break your confidence, they break your emotions, they create scars in your mind, in your soul, in your you are engulfed with so much of negativity because of the actions of other people. So no matter how they are treating you, internally you should be whole. Internally you should be connected to God, because God is the one who loves you unconditionally. No matter how many mistakes we do, still God forgives us. Look at yourself. We are safe. We are healthy. We are alive still today. Isn't this enough to prove how much God loves us? So when we have, and God loves us, I mean, we must have done good karmas in our past. That's why we are safe, secured. We are still alive. We are having a roof to, stay. We are having food on the table. We are having safety, security. That is because definitely we have done good karmas. Definitely God loves us. These are the proof. So if you do right always, or maximum times, maybe mistakes are okay, but most of the times, whatever we are doing right. We are on the right path. We are not doing anything wrong. We are on the right path. We are helping. We are doing, generating good karmas. We are reducing our negative karmas, the mistakes that we have done in the past. We are every day we are reducing that. We are aware of that. We don't need to be scared of anybody. We don't need to be scared of any situation, any challenge in life. I was also advised, no, 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 don't send this letter. Of course, my well-wishers, those who love me very, very dearly and nearly, no, don't send letters. It might damage, it might hamper. But I don't know, today I was just guided by the divine, and I know there won't be any damage, because the damage, ultimate damage, only God can do, which God never does. So I will go back to our, screen, and I will show where we had stopped. Was that you experienced peace, right? The meditation that we did after forgiving, you feel so much of peace internally, so much of peace in your whole existence when you actually forgive, because it is God who ultimately possesses this power of forgiveness, and the God within us also possesses the power of forgiveness. You remember when Jesus Christ was, being crucified, before that, when he was carrying his own cross, people were humiliating him, people were hurting him, injuring him. And a day before, when the last feast was going on, he knew on the table that next day John is going to betray me. He knew that this, I'm going to be crucified in ruthless, inhuman way tomorrow, and the instrument to it will be John. In spite of knowing everything, he forgave everybody. He forgave everybody. So this is the ultimate learning of forgiveness. When our souls are taking birth every lifetime, and we are neutralizing all our negative karmas, we are developing good karmas. Positivity is becoming, the positive balance in our karmic bank is going higher and higher and higher, and the negative balance is reducing, reducing, reducing. And Visualize you are in your last birth. This birth, little bit of karma is remaining, which once you finish, you will get nirvana. You will be completely united with God. You will go back to your heavenly home. You know what test you go through, the last test that you go through before you merge with God completely, the last birth. The last test is that your own, the person who believe and trust you trust the most, will betray you. And if you can forgive that person whom you loved and trusted the most, who has betrayed you in the worst of ways, when you can forgive, that is the last test human beings go through. Once you can go through that test, you get complete union with God. Remember this in your life. So when people, that is the last test. So when people actually, little things happen and they start hating each other, they start harming each other, they start exchanging negative thoughts, negative feelings, negative words, verbally, mentally, emotionally, physically at times. I mean, instead of progressing, instead of going at a higher level, you are being pulled down by the devil within you. Because in our hearts, we have both God and the devil. You know how I taught the lesson of karma to my children when they were very young. My son was then 3 years old and my daughter was then 6 years old. And I was teaching them the lesson of karma. So they had gone to boarding school at that age, very early age. But I wanted to give them certain lessons so that, from the very beginning, of course, I was grooming them right from birth. So what, as a counselor, child counselor, what I used to do, when my children were 6 months old, I used to, even though they would, whether they would understand or not, I would tell them bedtime stories. And how I would tell bedtime stories, I used to create these stories. And in these stories, for example, in one story, I had created two characters, which was, a brother and a sister. And these characters were two birds. I actually had two different stories I would tell them. One is about two cats and one is about two birds. Now, these birds were one brother and one sister. So I used to just tell them stories like, one day and I had named those two birds. And I used to say that they were going through the forest and suddenly a storm came. And when the storm came, then, the younger bird fell down and he hurt his, wing, and how the that sister bird helped him to come out. And, in this way, I created the bonding, the morals, the ethics by talking about, these birds, how, they are helping, how they are generous, how they are kind, how they are loving, how they are caring, how they are. So little stories in this way I created, and I generated those emotions in their mind. Now, as I'm going back to the 6 years and 3 years age when they went to boarding school. So I told them that in our heart, we have two parts. One part is occupied by God, and the other part is occupied by devil. What is the food of God? How do you feed God? When you think positive, you say positive, you do positive, that is the food for God. And the half, suppose that half of the heart is golden in color, the rest of the heart is black in color, because the devil is occupying that. So the more you are feeding God, what is happening, that I did not tell them God, they would not really understand. So I used to tell them angel. I used to tell them that half of it is occupied by an angel and the rest half is occupied by a monster. So I would say every time you do something good, think something good, say something good, you are actually feeding that angel, and that angel starts growing in your heart, and that golden area of the heart becomes more and more, and the dark area reduces. But when you give in to the greed, the negative provocations of that monster, and you follow that, then what happens? The monster starts occupying your heart little by little. So who do you want should be full in your heart? Do you want the monster to occupy your heart fully, or you want the angel to occupy your heart fully? So, that is how I taught them. So next letter that they had written in an inland letter, I remember when it came to me, there was, they had drawn a heart with a little face and a smile and all. And, or, on one side of the heart, they had actually drawn I think my daughter or son who drew, I don't remember, with one hand and a magic wand. The fairies, they carry that wand with a star. So on one side it was that, and on the other side I saw of the heart, they had drawn a horn, the horn of a monster. Hmm. So the moment they had drawn and sent this to me, I knew that they have actually got the lesson. Now, this is not about children only. We all need to understand actually in the heart chakra of ours, we do have a divine angelic being which occupies. Those who have done angel healing, angel therapy, it is, who is it? It is Samuel who occupies. Samuel is the angel of love. But when you are doing things with hatred, jealousy, envy, anger, resentment, whatever negative things, what is happening, the power of that angel becomes low. you then the devil is actually occupying your heart and mind and soul. So we need to be aware, we need to be conscious, and we need to move forward in that way, and we need to take decisions accordingly. So I'll go to the next slide. So when we keep on doing these good things, what are we doing? We are neutralizing our problems even before they occur. Fight without fighting. That is what Master has taught. Meaning what? Suppose you have created lot of, um, giving you example. In the past, you have been a thief. So in the past, in the sense, maybe in some lifetime, you have been a thief and you've done lot of stealing. So when you have done lot of stealing in any lifetime or many, many lifetimes, whatever it is, not necessarily only monetary stealing, it could be any stealing. You have a lot of stealing karma, for example. Then what happens is in this lifetime, you will be stolen of all whatever. You see people say, "Arey, I got all my jewelry is stolen, all my household is stolen." It is you're neutralizing the karma of stealing that you had done in the past. Now, suppose we don't know whether we have karma of stealing in our life, right? Suddenly, one thief might come and steal. Suddenly, somebody might rob us of our investments, and we might go through a lot of losses. So, we don't know what karmas we have done in the past. That is why, so that if we have any karma of stealing, for example, whatever stealing, we don't know, but we want to prevent that. We should never lose anything. We should never no kind of stealing should happen. We should never go through losses. We should never go through any kind of material harm or physical harm. What we need to do is we need to generate lot of good karmas which will neutralize the past karma of stealing, which I am not even aware. So what good karma will I do then? The more I donate, the more I do charity, the more I'm generous in giving, the more I'm generous in giving, all my past karmas of stealing, hurting, injuring are getting neutralized. The more I am polite and courteous, all my past karmas of injuring, which injury will come to me, relationship problems are nothing but injuries. So the more I am generous, forgiving, compassionate, merciful, I am already fighting without fighting. I am already neutralizing. So those karmas, past karmas will never even mature in my life. Before even maturing, I'm finishing off. They will never occur in my life at all. You remember one day I was talking about forgiveness. Then I said, what I do as a practice is I don't know who is going to be my daughter-in-law or my son-in-law, but I still do forgiveness with my daughter-in-law, son-in-law regularly. So that if there is any karma to be worked out between any relationship karma that I need to work out with my daughter-in-law, for example, I don't know, but I'm also preventing that, so that that karma does not even mature. So when I do this, forgiveness is the most powerful tool in this world. If you do forgiveness every day regularly, as we do in the sessions, do forgiveness with your spouse, do forgiveness with your children, even though they have not done anything. You never know, maybe in the old age, when you are in your old age, they are supposed to hurt you severely. Maybe that time they are not supposed to take care of you, they are supposed to neglect you, injure you. That will not even mature if you are doing forgiveness from right now. So you are already neutralizing the karma which is supposed to come to you in the future. So forgive even before such relations mature, such karmas mature in our life. Forgiving releases long standing negative emotions. Therefore, it is therapeutic. Though through sincere repentance, trying to becoming a better person, and asking for divine blessings and forgiveness is possible for a lost soul to spiritually reconnect with the higher soul. What does this mean? A lost soul means a criminal. A soul, none of the souls take birth to do anything wrong, to do any crime, to kill, to harm, hurt. No soul comes to earth with that. But if a person becomes a criminal, what happens is even its own higher soul, that incarnated soul is Jivatma and Atma is the higher soul. So Atma is what we possess, but actually the incarnated soul is within our body. The higher soul is not within our body, it is in the heavenly level. It is pure energy with love, with purity, right? So the higher soul, which is actually our guiding force, which is actually, when we connect to God, we are actually connecting to our higher soul. We do not realize that, but our higher soul is, for example, 100 watt. The incarnated soul is only 110 watt. So when we are praying to God, we cannot reach out to 1 million watt. We are actually reaching out to the 100 watt. So our Atma is the one which takes it forward to the Guru and the God. So what happens is, just like a father, when the father has given money to the son, go and do business. And the father sees the son is going and with that money, and he is regularly drinking and having merry and partying, and he loses all the money. Will that father take back the son? No, because the son has brought only losses, losses, losses to the father. Similarly, when the Atma has sent the Jivatma to a body, has sent to a, please mute your mics, please mute your mics. So the At, there is disturbance. Somebody's mic is on, and okay, okay. So all right. Just a moment. I will. So what is happening is that the Atma has sent the Jivatma into this into this body. Go into this body. It's like an investment. Go into this body, do good actions on earth, create good karmas for yourself. That is the profit you bring back. When you die, when the body dies, come back to me with lot of profit. Please mute your mics. Again, the mic is on. This is, yeah. One moment. Let me see. Oh, everybody, please keep your mics muted. I'm sorry, otherwise it disturbs everyone. Okay. So, so the father sends for profit, that the son will bring back profit when the son comes back. But what is the father seeing? The father is saying, oh, my son has gone to earth and it's generating only negative karmas, only it has become a criminal and only bringing losses, losses, losses. So when it comes back, it is going to come back with lot of karmic loans. When it is coming back with lot of karmic loans, then I as the soul, I as the Atma has to pay back all these penalties. right? So then that father, the Atma, says, oh, I am not going to take care of you now. While the incarnated soul, while the Jivatma is in the Jeev, in the body, and has become a criminal, the Atma of that criminal says, I will not take care of you anymore. Then that Jivatma becomes a lost soul. The father is not taking back the soul, the son. The father has, actually abandoned the soul. So only if the Jivatma, that criminal, the Jivatma of that criminal, the incarnated soul of that criminal realizes that I've done so many mistakes, so he starts asking for forgiveness, then even the father, which is the soul, the higher soul, forgives and takes back, just like a normal father. Okay, you are repenting. You have realized what mistakes you've done. Okay, son, come back home. Don't repeat it again. So it is never too late to stop doing mistakes. The moment you realize, that is why even Valmiki had become a saint. That is why even Ashoka, the king Ashoka, had become a saint. Because no matter what mistakes we have done in the past, we can still correct and still move forward with God's love and forgiveness. So, what is the affirmation of forgiveness? Negative karma can be neutralized by utilizing the law of forgiveness and the law of mercy. Here, this is very important. The law of forgiveness you have understood. I have explained yesterday and today. The law of mercy is when somebody is doing wrong towards you, has wronged you, you are still forgiving that soul. So you are showing mercy to that soul. No matter what you have done, I'm forgiving you. This is internal forgiveness I'm talking about. I'm still forgiving you. You are showing mercy. If you are showing mercy, then no matter how many mistakes you have done in how many lifetimes, when you ask for mercy from God, God, please forgive me for all the crimes that I have done, all the wrongdoings that I've done in my past lifetimes or in this lifetime, please forgive me. God actually forgives you because you have created the entitlement to receive mercy. When you have shown mercy, you are entitled to receive mercy. What is coming to my mind, I'm adding to it. We, those who are non-vegetarians, what do? We kill, we take a life of an animal or a bird which has emotions, intelligence, feelings, everything. We are doing that just for 7 seconds of the taste of the tongue. The tongue will experience that taste for 7 seconds only. For that, we are taking the life of one animal. What crime are we doing? What karma are we creating? We are creating the karma of murder. So if a non-vegetarian converts himself to a vegetarian, imagine what you are doing. You are showing, you are actually expressing the law of mercy to the highest form. Because you're having, knowing that I love to eat you, I'm showing mercy. I will not kill you. I will not taste you. I will not harm you. I will not hurt you. To the highest order, that soul has shown mercy to the animal kingdom. What mercy do you earn out of it? Your entitlement to receive huge mercy from God has been created. So then you are entitled to receive complete forgiveness for all the wrongdoings that you've done in the past. Okay. And of course, there is this prayer, beautiful prayer, which states Saint Francis of Assisi has said that in pardoning, we are pardoned. In the Lord's Prayer, it says, same teachings are there in Dharmapada by the Buddhists, in Gita by Hindus, in Quran, same teachings are there. So, by forgiving, you are forgiven. One must forgive others before one asks for divine forgiveness. So, when you first forgive, you generate the entitlement of being forgiven by God. It is necessary to forgive and bless those who have hurt. When you are forgiving, and over and above that, you are sending them good energies, love energy, peace energy, harmony energy, you are generating huge good karma, huge, absolutely good karma. I forgive all those who have caused me injury and pain. I release all the hurts. Divine Father, I humbly ask your forgiveness for all my mistakes. I am at peace and filled with love. My body is becoming healthier and healthier. Let us repeat this together. Let's read this prayer. Sorry. Let's read this prayer together. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. I forgive all those who have caused me injury and pain. I forgive all of you unconditionally, completely, permanently, on all levels, through time and space. On all levels means physically, energetically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, or relationship wise, socially. Any injury you have caused on any of these levels, I forgive you completely. Through time, in the past, present, or future, no matter when, I am forgiving you. And space, no matter where you are, where we have met, on this earth, in some other planet, wherever, I forgive you completely. Visualize golden light going out from your hands and spreading over all the people who have hurt you and harmed you. I forgive you, forgive you, forgive you. I release you from all negative karmic connections, cords, bonds, and negative energies. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace be with you, peace be with you, peace be with you. May only love, peace, and harmony be between you and me. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Now take your hands in receiving position and let us pray to God. Divine Father, I humbly ask you for your forgiveness for all my mistakes. I am at peace and filled with love. Inhale the love, God's unconditional forgiving love that is pouring down from heaven. My body is becoming healthier and healthier. Thank you, God, for your divine blessings, for your miraculous healings, because when God forgives, you are healed completely. Om Shanti, 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 Om. Okay, I think we will stop here today. So let us do the closing prayer. To the Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, Guru, Master, Chokuksi, Mahaguruji, mailing all the great ones, holy gurus, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers, all invisible helpers, lords of karma, Buddha, Kwanin, Buddha, Shakyamuni, all the bodhisattvas, all beings of light, our divine self and higher soul. We gratefully thank you for your divine blessings, divine light, divine love, and divine power, for divine peace, mercy, forgiveness, and divine healing, healing on all levels, making our life wholesome. Thank you for your divine protection on all levels. Thank you, God, for all your miraculous blessings. Thank you in full faith. So be it, so be it, so be it. Om. Amen. Amin. Tathastu, tathastu, tathastu. So it is. Peace be to all. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Okay. So Atma Namaste to all of you. I hope you have enjoyed today's session and experienced or realized how forgiveness can heal. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to serve. See you tomorrow. God bless you all. Have a lovely day.